All right, welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we're going into our next match now here on the B stream. It's getting started. Heroic versus Cloud9. Both of these teams have had upsets in their first games. Heroic going up against North. That's the game we just witnessed here. And then right before that, well, we saw SK fall to Cloud9. So Cloud9 also going up, but it's time for one of these two teams to come back down to earth in a certain respect. One of them's gonna have to end up 1-1 here as they'll face off against each other now.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. On the other side of that, one of these teams will be 2-0 in the groups. Well, ahead of the likes of SK, ahead of North, two teams you'd expect to maybe get there, ahead of VP as well. So Cloud9 are Heroic. They have it within them to maybe take this one down. We're going to have to wait and see, though. Cbblestone is a map that's typically Heroic have been fairly solid on in past times. So I personally would maybe just slightly edge with Heroic, but I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, so we will have to wait and see how things pan out. And honestly, I feel like this can certainly go based on the results we've already seen. Really could go either way. Again, I haven't had the most experience in being able to check out a lot of Heroics games, so I'm not really sure how they're going to pan out here in a match versus Cloud9. But I mean, Cloud9 already showing up looking this strong. They've been on this sort of recovery mission, I think, ever since bowing out there in the major qualifiers, where they kind of lost a lot of their steam that they gained when they won back over at the Pro League season finals in Brazil a couple months ago. But it seems like they're kind of on the upswing now, and they almost managed to make that progress back over in Las Vegas, but unfortunately ended up bowing out. They're just barely ended up bowing out in the groups. They almost made it through there. But this time, already upswing against SK is looking good, and if they can continue that momentum, and especially, you know, like if Automatic, Stewie, and Skedoodle keep up with the individual performances that we saw from the first map, then they're certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with.
I think it was Onic that said on Twitter that if they continue to play together, that they are going to be a star team in the future. Heroic, that is. So I mean, that's really high praise from, like, you know, behind the scenes sort of coaches and whatnot. So they definitely have that potential, you know. And I think Yugi coming in has been a fantastic trade. As good as Freeze was, Yugi for me is an upgrade. No disrespect to Freeze. So I think Heroic are in great shape right now. But we are going to be getting ourselves alive into the action here in the first round. Cloud9 starting on the T half.
And we will take a look now at the opening pushes here, specifically from Cloud9. Normally fairly standard, as we see the teams just going directly for the B execute. But we'll see if Cloud9 changes up the formula a little bit. Not looking likely, though, from the current formation of players that we can see pushing their way through here pretty quickly over towards that B position. So everybody up towards Broken Wall. They've got two more possibly going towards drop. The thing is Heroic sent three out towards mid connector and A long. So the defenses on B are actually quite weak. Cloud9 with a bit of a delay here to toss out utility. But as we can see, well, Nico just walks right up, punishes one, and they've got a flank work against them who has the bomb right now. Hello, there's Madi. He picks one up. Automatic has been able to trade out a few kills back over on the site. But at the end of the day, he goes down to Yugi, and now it's just Stewie in a 1v2.
Going towards the bomb, but Modi has this one covered. Crosshair head height. Stewie 2K somehow survives and gets the kill in return. Surely this can't be real. Yugi long range is tapping. And they're both on almost identical health on top of everything else. Yugi's gonna have to come back in for seconds. Stewie 2K decides, screw this noise, I'm off. And at this point, Yugi's not entirely sure as to whether he's pushed on B, if he's hiding on the corner, if he's gone A. So we're about to find out that, well, Stewie's gonna go plant on the A site.
Yeah, so he makes it over there, and Yugi actually completely froze outside of the drop position, and oh no, this is going to be really bad for Yugi. Look at this. He's swinging wide out towards Broken. He thought it went B. This is going to cost him easily 15 to 20 seconds, as now he's got to swing back in. Good news is it's pistol round, so we're not going to see that slow, steady battle over on the site itself. We should just run right out and go for the immediate retake, but Stewie has had all the time in the world to get prepped for this. He's starting to think it's working its way out from long, though, so he's going to be a bit cautious, and now he just put himself in a corner. Yugi moving in, though. Is he going to check over here in this position? No, he doesn't even check the barrels, but Stewie doesn't immediately get the kill, but the correction is found instantly when Yugi goes for that repeat, and Stewie finds the clean headshot to allow for Cloud9 to win the pistol.
Heroic just let a huge opportunity slip there. That was a 2v1. Stewie able to get two separate 1v1s. Never thought he'd be getting that clutch, but completely wrong on that one. So 1-0. Scout picked up for Skedoodle. SMGs plus the AK in the hands of Stewie. No UMP picks for Heroic. Yugi instead opting for just the Deagle. Wants to save the op as soon as possible. Nico will be pushing the Broken Wall with a 5-7. He's about to see some Nades fly above his head.
Okay.
Oh, they last the shot. What? Right, well, that just happens. Get wrecked.
So Nico says goodbye. Oh, we have another one in a moment here. As we do see another player trying to jump back up. This time, though, Cbblestone ends up just putting the shot into the cobblestone there. As Valde is allowed to fall back and respots a lot of the aggression here. So he'll deploy his smoke. A little bit of a delay for Cloud9, but again, considering the current status of this round, it's nothing that they'll have to worry about in the long run. They just swing back, and I think they're going to re-execute into A.
Solid opening pick is going to make Heroic feel the pressure. Snappy, close range, in the stables, watching along with his 5-7. But in the meanwhile, Sui is about to push his location. He's all by his lonesome. 5-7 could take it down, and indeed it will. Bomb gets dropped out in a horrible position for the terrorists, but they have the firepower to make the most of it and reclaim what was once theirs. Automatic with his UMP. Valda and Muddy with 2 CZs and pretty much a prayer and not much else. Cloud9 will be favourites to take a 2-0 lead now.
Yeah, both are just stuck in the rat hole and outside in the rat hallway here, so there's not a whole lot for Heroic to try and do. As Valde sits inside, he's hoping someone gets over aggressive and he can punish a little bit, basically just looking for damage here. But ultimately, they may just have to fall back if they want to save these guns and have the extra firepower for the third round. This beyond that, well, they're all going to end up full saving, but it seems they want to be a bit more aggressive here, at least in Madi's case. That bait, it worked out a little bit as they got automatic to push back in, so Valde punished him. But now that they've successfully kind of sprung that trap, Madi's falling back and is looking to the future here, heading into the third round with that extra CZ.
That's all they're going to have. Yugi still playing patiently. Not going to be getting anything into this round, I'm sure. So he can get the AWP into the next one. He has shown significantly a happiness to just pick up that AWP whenever possible. You know, on both sides. On Nuke, he's picking up time and time again. So he's clearly a main AWPer. Doesn't really like to use the rifle as much, which is totally understandable. He's also a very good AWPer as well, to be fair to him. But he's going to be used to USP in his hands and CZ and Kevlar for the aforementioned Muddy.
And well, there's going to be the boost up here from the CTs. It allows them to get 1 kill, but Automatic swings in the trade. He doesn't decide to move forward just yet, so he buys the time for those CTs to fall back, but that's exactly what he wants, is he's pushing them right out of the sight. Over on the statue, though, having a little bit of problems finding Nico there, as he was hiding behind the wall, so quick correction on that if they do lose Automatic there, and for Yugi and Valde, they're falling back, but not much merit in saving here, obviously. So I think they're just going to swing back over to the outside of the B hulls and probably look to pick up a couple exits, but it will be the third round from Cloud9.
Indeed it will. As expected, though. Next round, we'll see a solid buy from Heroic, including Yorp and M4s alongside it. Yugi and Valde are going to try and save, which is a little bit odd, considering they don't really have anything to save. So I think maybe try and catch a straggler and then convert that into a weapon is the idea here. But, you know, they've got no equipment value between the two of them.
Yeah, it's literally $0 for them to work with here. So if they proceed out and they can drop a few of them, okay, that's great. But if not, just wasted time. As we can see, nothing hopping around there. But nothing really leads into it. So bit of a waste of time, unfortunately.
I think another aspect of that could also be that they were using that time to talk about tactics for the upcoming round. Could make sense as well, but as a result of going for all the firepower, they actually don't have that many nades, just 3 smokes and 2 flashes, no kits. There's going to have to come down to those raw trades that go in favour of the Danes. Cloud9 have every opportunity now to maybe extend their lead further. Team Mac 10 still in play, no lack of head armor, so that could be an issue for Street 2K, and I think we're going to want to play very aggressively with those 2 weapons. And Heroic aren't going for anything too aggressive themselves. They're going to be playing more passive on the likes of Danger. 2 players stack in Danger, not something you see too often.
The greatness for Cloud9, though, is there's 0 utility on Heroic right now. They've already used all of their smokes and pretty much everything else that they brought to this round. There's 2 flashbangs on Snappy and Nico, but that's it. They just have to hold this based on their raw gun power alone here. And well, Nico's got the good position down below. They do peek it 1 by 1, but Automatic is there for the trade after Nico knocks out Stewie. So there's the split, and this is going to cause delay for both Yugi and Valde to rotate in, as obviously the pressure from Automatic is still sitting over there from the other site. The trades will continue, though, as they do try to push their way into A, but it leads into Cloud9 having control. Valde also getting knocked out here. Madi with a bit of an early flank, but damage is done to him by shot, even though he gets that kill, and Automatic is going to finish the job. Yugi looking for the 1v2, and we'll see if he can do it, but Automatic, I think, spotted him by the doorway and is now looking for the flank. If he goes left, he's tentatively kind of moving in here. Skadoodle watches out for the right side peek too, but they've got good positions to basically counter out his entire retake. So as he swings up, Skadoodle's going to be his first target, but Skadoodle even dodging him in this position too. Just goes to the bomb plant corner. And Yugi, after not seeing anything, Skadoodle would have heard that scope, but Yugi's backing out of the site through the alleyway here now, so he's focusing on the save instead.
It will be 4-0, but at least Heroic will retain that AWP in the hands of Yugi. The rest of the team can't really afford to buy here. Maybe some pistols, but that's about it. Cloud9 continuing where they left off in the previous matchup that we casted them on against SK. They're looking in fine form today. And Automatic and Stewie continue to rip through heads. 6 kills for Automatic early doors. And Stewie on 2. Skadoodle had quite a dodgy start, I think it's safe to say, on Nuke. Has started very well on this one as well with 4 kills. And has the AK to maybe fend off a few more of the Heroic team.
Yeah, Cloud9 are just splitting up here again in their opener. But however, it has led into some decent damage against Shroud as he kind of goes out on his own, I think, closer over here towards Broken Wall and gets tagged. So he'll now be down at 30, and he's kind of stuck here right now. Thankfully, no one else from Heroic is peeking up against this, but there is still the looming threat of Yugi being there when he does re-peek into it, and that's what he's going to be positioning himself for now. The T's will smoke themselves off. Yugi be getting hit by a flashbang here too. Meanwhile, over at the entrance to A, we did actually see Snappy holding in there for a kill on his pistol, but Shroud trades out the damage that he received a few moments ago, eliminates Yugi before he can fall back. That's the op gone down. It's going to be retrieved by Nico, but now it's a glass cannon op. Snappy, again, also spotting some more aggression from Cloud9 here, so it's a bit unfortunate that, again, they can't really figure out what exactly is happening, and by the time they realize it, it's far too late, and the last man alive, Snappy's going to walk out into the open and into the crosshairs of nothing.
So the pressure continues to be applied from Cloud9. Still not picking up an ult for themselves, and why the hell not? These AK purchases of the SMGs before have been working a charm. Yugi right back in with another ult. And what's his spawn looking like? So he's going to be going towards A long with it. Not a great spawn for a peek, though. Cloud9, in the meanwhile, going to be playing pretty standard on the T side, dropping the bomb out just outside the drop zone itself. Shroud is going to be joining the rest of his brothers on long. Smokes are coming down, though, so not too much vision is available for either team. And this could put Heroic into a position where they're going to toss out some of those grenades. Now we go. Just 6 health inflicted to Stewie with the nade Nico tosses out.
Reapplication on the smoke towards Broken there, but there's still another one blocking off the T's. So Stewie's going to hold off his own aggression for right now, but that's only going to last for a few moments as now Cloud9 getting ready with Molotovs and whatnot to deploy those further out onto the sites they can go for this. It's a deep commitment for 2 of the guys on Heroic. Snappy and Yugi are going to have to be quick on the rotate here, as more of them that were positioned watching for drop control on Heroic are now doing the same thing as they do push back in. There's actually a great pop flash into all of C9. They're discombobulated here as Nico picks up 2 kills. Shroud's going to trade onto that one, but Valde sitting further back in the site. Monty picking up 1 kill. Shroud's distracted as he tosses out the nade, and the entire hit just gets absolutely demolished. Skadoodle's the last man standing in a 1v4. He has 0 room to work with, but he has opened up a little bit there. There's the first kill. Now he's out of utility, though, and keep in mind the bomb is still on this site, so he can't change up where he's playing this towards. He'll sneak in against Yugi, even gets the headshot on Yugi, actually surprises him a little bit, but that's all he's going to be able to do this time. Snappy trades him out finally and allows Heroic to win with 2 alive.
But even the 2 kills that Skadoodle gets in that round at the end is still very much worthwhile and impactful because it puts an extra player into UMP. It really chunks through their funds. They've now reset their unlost bonus, so Skadoodle really could have hurt them in the long run if Cloud9 can just go back to winning ways. Heroic will be knocked down significantly and may not be able to get back up again for a couple of rounds afterwards. The Cloud9 in a great position right now. There's sometimes losing a round, I'm not necessarily going to say it's beneficial to your team, but it can really backfire on the enemy if they can't keep the momentum going forward.
Yeah, the reset potential is always something tough to deal with, especially for CTs too. Just because they always tend to get the worst end of the buying with their guns and whatnot, always being a little bit more expensive. Stewie's going to sneak his way through Suicide. He doesn't check the turret, though. But Snappy hasn't realized that Stewie's out either. And Snooey with the cheeky peek waits until he turns towards him a little bit there to take the shot. So we'll see Stewie grabbing that kill, eliminating Snappy. And now he's even... Look at this. Nobody's realized he's here. He's seen the rifle. Skadoodle just gets that kill anyway. So now Stewie's going to walk right through, holds the position outside of the rat hole, and this is Cloud9 with nearly free control of A. Obviously, Madi's going to be a little bit of a problem here. But that's traded up by Stewie, and the round is essentially over here now, as both these CTs have been boxed into B.
Alda, Nico, 2 remaining straggling CTs. As we were talking about before, the importance of momentum, the importance of getting those rounds back to back. Consistency is key. And Cloud9 have shown that, well, they have been consistently getting on the sites. They have been consistently taking down the opening pick. Scoodle now 8-4. Bomb planted on A, and Valda's going to try and hold the doors to make sure that no terrorists can push through. There is one on the opposite side. It's going to be Stewie 2K, though, who may very well check the angle, but gets one tapped as soon as he comes through. Information gathered. I don't think Cloud9 want to charge too many weapons in here. They have such a good advantage right now.
So Cloud9 actually seem like they want to hunt down these last 2 here to prevent the save. Valde's got a Molotov saved up though, and oh, it's through the door, finds nothing. Nicely spotted by Valde to take him back down, and he dodges the nade too. So definitely seeming like it's going to be a bit tougher of a task to take down Valde and Nico, and after they lose nothing, all right, this is getting a bit too expensive, so they do decide to call it off and let them save those guns.
Certainly the case. 2 UMPs, AK. Valda doesn't have too much alongside Yugi, so it's going to be CZ. This is a rough bite, if ever you've seen one. Do have kits and nades. Cloud9 already 6-1 up on the T half of Cbblestone. Of course, T half can yield so much in terms of rounds, especially in the right teams, and Cloud9 certainly are one of those. I think Heroic also have a really good T half, maybe even better than their CT half. So I'm not even saying at this point that Cloud9 are going to run away with this, but obviously the early stages could not really have gone better for the NA side.
That's Cloud9 off to a springing start. And again, not really having to do anything super crazy with regards to their shots and whatnot here either. Oh, look at this. This is a cheeky angle from Valde. He can still see through that. If Shroud jumps down from that jump up spot, then he has the angle to eliminate him. But I think he's a bit impatient about it, so he just swing away from it. That and the smoke is starting to fade. He knows he's got him in that corner, so nice isolation deployed out there from Heroic. They're actually going to get the early frag because of that and hold a bit of an advantage.
50 seconds remaining for Cloud9 to try and execute onto the site. Heroic still have quite a few of their nades. They haven't expended too many of them in the chaos. And Cloud9 are rummaging together onto the A side of the map. There's no player indoors, so for the time being, it is going to be Snappy and Yugi on the site by themselves without any real hope of that mid-control. It's just a CZ at range. It's not going to do a great deal. More scouting than anything else is Yugi at this point. But here comes the play, and instantly, Modi is going to be wrapping himself around onto the balcony, goes down to the house of Stewie. He's now going to be coming head-to-head with Valda. Bought enough time, actually, for the rest of his team to funnel their way onto the site. Now, Scoodle with the AWP, 10 seconds left, is just going to try and save him. He has no hope of getting this round clutched. Looks like Heroic are going to get a second round on the board after all.
And like I said before, this is going to be the ultimate problem of Cloud9 trying to play things so basically here and so straightforward, is that Heroic now do get the read into that one. They realize what's happening very early on, and they call for that bigger rotate. So nicely played by Heroic, and good delaying on the site there too, as they did still need to wait a few seconds for those rotates to come back in fully, but they bought that time beautifully, and Cloud9 unfortunately failed on their entry power, so they end up dropping this one, and it puts them into a buy down situation where they are going to basically run out of cash here if they don't outright win this one. Heroic starting to look like a T-sided team when you look at all their guns, as pretty much a good 90% of their arsenal for this round is based entirely off of pickups from Cloud9. 4 AKs and one ump sitting on Madi.
Definitely not bad to take out. That one-tap potential now very much in the hands of Heroic. So is the case for Cloud9, especially with Skadoodle's AWP, who does want to start taking it now. So obviously, maybe feeling like they need to slow down the pace a little bit more, go for more of a pick comp. Valda's out in a very precarious position through the smoke. It does allow him to see the gap of the smoke as it dissipates before the terrorists can see him. The scouting not quite beneficial in terms of kills. He will back away. All 10 players still remain.
And Stewie again is at the head of the charge here for Broken Wall. At the same time, Automatic is taking on another very important position. That's going to be Drop. He's already out into the transition room, but at the same time, he needs to wait for the guys on Brooklyn to start their push first. Stewie's looking for Nico over there. He tapped him, but no, Nico is the one that actually got 2 kills from back in that spot. Now Automatic trying to turn the tables in the direction, but no, Madi will immediately dispatch of him. This goes 4v2, now 4v1. Skadoodle as the last man standing here, sitting up on the platform. He won't get anything done at all, and it's a clean sweep from Heroic. They only lose Nico, but he got 2 kills before even going down. Timeout
by Cloud9. It is going to be a tactical one in a position where their funds not really enough to get a full buy. Maybe a few Tech 9s, maybe Kevlar with it for nothing. Apart from that, I'm not expecting to see too much. But yeah, Heroic have been on the upward trend. This last 4 rounds, they've won 3 of them. Now in a fairly stable financial situation.
And for Cloud9, they do have to take a step back here and figure out how exactly they can keep this momentum going, as they have kind of lost the swing of it. Possibly talking about a new strat that they can deploy here as well. That has been a part of their discussions and their sort of recovery effort, is to make themselves a better team strategically. The individuals are certainly there. They are one of the most skilled teams in North America, if not the most skilled team when it comes to the individual basis, especially when you just look at the combined duo of Stewie and Automatic. Their chemistry together is absolutely incredible. And Skadoodle has been looking up recently over the past couple of months. I know he came under a lot of criticism as we got into like the fall of 2016, but as we got into sort of December, I think he even had a pretty good performance in that Pro League final, so they won there too. And looking at some of the lands so far this year, he's been doing pretty good actually.
Yeah, he's definitely been on an upward trend. I think this would be a perfect time for him to have a fantastic event. You know, if Cloud9 can win this again, they'd be 2-0 up. They'd have every chance at qualifying for the playoffs at the very least. Maybe even challenge for that top spot from Na'Vi.
That would be
as crazy as that would be.
That would be the real upset right there, as if somehow Cloud9 topped the group.
Oh yeah. They have looked good so far. Heroic have put a bit of a spanner in the works in terms of their T-half for Cobblestone, but still with 6 rounds is a pretty solid foundation on which you can build off. Just pistols, no Kevlar, as I thought maybe nothing was going for it, and he is going to go down first. That's a body, gets a second kill with the UMP. They're ripping through the terrorists, but Automatic will return fire for that one lone kill. That's maybe all they get out of this one. P250 long range is asking a lot from Stewie. Very nearly gets onto Snappy, but will go down nonetheless. So only Muddy falls for the CTs.
And so Heroic come within 2 rounds of tying this one back up, but there's still a bit more to get through, unfortunately, as Cloud9, after that one singular save, do go right back into another bye for this round. A little bit of delay for some of them, as I think Skadoodle, no, they do manage to have enough to be able to drop, or for him to, to be able to purchase his own AK. So it is going to be 5 AK straight. There's no op for Skadoodle or anyone else in the team. Utility's a bit lax for some of their players, but it is still, more than enough for Cobblestone to be able to make their hit a success. And again, the opening default will be the pattern that they take here. Nothing super crazy or super out of the ordinary. Just splitting their players up across the map to make sure that Heroic aren't given any free reign to get super aggressive here.
Well, the worrying thing for Cloud9 is going to be that if this continues and Heroic do mount, even a lead at half-time, typically their T-side is one that you have to be very careful of. Like, they're a solid T-side, as I mentioned earlier. So Cloud9, they can't afford to let their foot off the gas here and be content with just the 6 rounds. They've got to keep pushing forward. Shroud, the first player to die. Nothing is going to go down straight afterwards. And Snappy, alongside Valda, have created quite the roadblock for Cloud9 to try and navigate over now. They have got a bomb plant, but for how long is that going to be the case? Probably not much too longer, because Valda has came in for yet another kill. Automatic and Skadoodle, make it just Skadoodle, who is hiding underneath balcony. As soon as he opens up his compromised position, it's going to be found out. And Heroic will pick up a 5th.
I think they know, yeah, that Automatic got boosted up there too, so they just look for him right outside of the shed, and that's actually a very easy closeout of the round from Heroic. Again, it's really great pacing from Heroic too, and they don't over-aggress, they don't peek out and take any unnecessary duels. They know that Cloud9 is going to get site control, so they're happy to let them do it and just hold a positional and manpower advantage for the retake, and it leads to a much cleaner round overall, whereas conversely they would have lost like 2 to 3 more people if they tried to directly contest from A long before those B rotators had gotten there. A really smart decision, and it's going to allow them to build up the kind of bank they have going, where they have 4 guys right around or even over 10k.
Well, with Tech 9s, it's very possible this is going to be an explosive strat outside of B long. I haven't really seen him do this just yet. Shui's the first one in. They're seemingly going to be holding fire for a couple more moments before they throw the smokes out, and a full execution will be following it. Molotov out as well, looking like it's going to be headed towards the tree. Indeed it will. This is forcing Nico out into the open. The Molotovs are being exchanged though, and now here comes the play. Yugi's going to pick up the first kill. Flashes and smokes in the eyes of all of the Heroic members, but they're still coming out ahead of these trades before Skadoodle goes through and will take down 2 players with Tech9. UMP trades hands into his favor. The Shroud gets flashed, can't see a thing, and Nico cleans up with 2 of his own kills. 6-6, 5 in a row now, the Danes.
And I mean, I already brought it up once, but let's actually take a deeper look at it here. It's just the money overall from Heroic. 14.2k on Yugi, he's almost maxed out. 13.2k on VoDs, he's just about 3k away from being maxed out. One more victory without dying, and he should be good. Snappy's got enough for 2 of his own full rebuys. Monty's a little bit less than that at 1.6k, because I think he's kind of one of the more aggressive players here, so we kind of expect him to die. But then Nico, again, right back at the top there at 11.6k. These guys, after these, you know, 5 rounds too, that's actually not that huge of an amount of a streak, and they have so much cash to work with. Cloud9 have seemed to have run in just a brick wall here all of a sudden, and they're not making any impact at all anymore.
Shroud's gonna have to throw that smoke, pardon me, to extinguish the Molotov, and HE was following it as well, so he takes damage anyway. So does Stewie 2k. Nico in the alcove on the platform, and Moddy's watching drop. So it's interesting as well to see how Heroic are occupying the drop side as opposed to a lot of other teams where they'd actually be outside watching from the window and watching from like the chicken coop. Automatic, the drive-by headshot with the AK is going to open up drop nicely, but still that's only half the issue. Cloud9 have got to get out of drop and onto the site. The bomb still dropped out towards connector.
Valde patiently waiting here now for Cloud9 to throw that aggression back at them, but the Molotov is going to send him back over to the tree rock, where again he's also been things are also a bit uncertain simply because at the moment Yugi's a lot more focused on a ramp play, so Valde could really get pushed by either side and get taken out due to that one. Yugi now moving in, and Nico also found a guy over here on platform, but the bomb's gonna go through mid connector. I don't think Yugi realized that Automatic walked out from the window there, so he gets the kill for free against Yugi. That's Automatic up to 2 now. And they've completely wedged out both Valde and Nico. They'll have to worry about Automatic when they do try to rotate. Snappy's still here, though. He has a good angle for his first kill. Unfortunately, whiffs the spray on his second there, trying to take down Automatic back over by the balcony. But look at the balls on Snappy. Just tries to run through the Molotov to stop the bomb from going down. Dispatched by nothing, though. And at the end of the day, it's left down to Nico, who unfortunately cannot do much without any utility. And pretty bad info as well about what's going to be going on in the post plant there when he does go back into the site.
I think with Snappy there, honestly, he realized that his situation was hopeless. So he just wanted to go down swinging. He was like, if I'm going to die, and try to take the bomb planter with me. Unfortunately, didn't quite pay off, and Cloud9 will stop the 5-round curse and lift it to take a 7-6 lead. So, looks like Nico will be able to save. As he mentioned earlier, though, huge economy for Heroic. They can replenish whatever happens, of course. In a pretty much a hopeless situation like this, there's no point throwing away an AK. It is certainly got that one tap potential over the M4s anyway. It's a solid rifle to take out the round.
Investments continue to roll in for both teams here as Cloud9 finally picking up another. They keep their lead going for now after Heroic had closed the gap and tie things back up. But like I said before, that big bank from Heroic is now going to take a while to buy back down, and they can still immediately reset Cloud9 back here, force them onto a very iffy force buy into the 15th. Well, they're going to force buy anyway going into the 15th round, but still they can make it a pretty iffy one if they manage to close out here. So Heroic are looking good for the rest of the half regardless. And as we take a look at Cloud9, well, they push forward here again into basically the default opener. A bit light on watching for the outside presence, but still moving in here and not going for any early control. Just spreading out across the map.
You're not really throwing any kinds of fakes either with nothing. He's playing very passive at the back of mids, just waiting for a potential push to come to fruition. But as we can see with the benefit of the minimap, it is going to be Cloud9 looking to get control over drop zone with a couple of Molotovs. HE also going to be planted into the left-hand side room. Here comes a pop flash on top of it. No one's going to be home just yet. Moddy is waiting on the left side. That flashbang destroying Stewie, who couldn't see a single thing. They do at least get the trade. The event kill comes through from Automatic, but he's been put down to 11. And Cloud9 are on shaky ground here around 14.
Nico waiting for the push to come out from Cloud9, but they don't seem so secure in it anymore either. They're up against the broken wall if they want to try to push forward, but it doesn't really seem like it. The bomb's gone back, and at the moment, we can see nothing is lonely, but he's sneaking his way up for free right now and lines up a beautiful headshot against Snappy. But I'm not sure if he's going to stick around here or not. Seems with Nico finding that kill on the Shroud that they will actually just stick with the A control they currently have. Nothing with a good place Molotov. It's going to deny them from being able to push back in. So good control maintained. Even denies them from swinging back past nothing and going over to the balcony there. He didn't check the backside and whatnot, but still, there's no delay. So he's got absolute security in it. He can hear them pushing against him now, though. So he's going to fall back and play it back a little bit. Skadoodle picking up another kill against Valde as he does try to swing out from the shed. Now everything goes to Yugi and Nico, but again, they just don't have the bargaining power to get back past that wall and into the site. So they once again have to call for a save here.
Yeah, this is going to allow Modi to get a drop, so he can get a full buy into the final round of the half. Now, Cloud9, I said before, it was really important for them to finish this half in winning ways, to take the likes of a 9-6 lead with Heroic's T-side coming up. 9-6, winning that pistol as well if they can get it, would be a fantastic platform on which they can build off. But Heroic, if they can take this round, bring us back to an 8-7, I think, honestly, they'll be quite happy with that scoreline, knowing they've got the stronger half coming up. They're going to be saving as the drop across. Full purchase in for both teams, including 2 warps, 1 on each side. Skadoodle continues to impress on 13 and 8, as do Nico and Valda. Yuki's had a bit of a rough time of it, though. As a player that was towards the top of the standings when it came to Nuke, he's now on 6 and 6. He hasn't quite had the impact he'd be liking.
Again, it's the same style of opening from Cloud9. We're not going to see anything aggressive from either side of this one, really. As Heroic also go back to the 3-2 split. Again, bit of a heavy commitment towards A. Oh, Valde, though, perfectly lines up the spray against Stewie. We can just see his life being drained from him there by Valde, so they're happy with that one, picking up that early kill, and all of a sudden they're down a man with nothing to trade for it either.
Yeah, free opening pick for Heroic is massive, worth its weight in gold. Molotov keeps Nico here for a little while longer. He'll be tossing that out, and there's a chance it's going to be a push. Molly's being exchanged left, right, and center over on platform. But it's actually going to be favouring Heroic, considering they already have the player advantage. And although Cloud9 have expended a lot of their utility, they've got nothing for it, by and large. They've now got a Molly and a flash, and they're forced into the bottleneck of drop zone, trying to get round the back. But there is Molly to greet them. Even though he doesn't get a kill, it is vital information called, and allows Snappy to rotate back to the doors and fend off this rotation before it can get settled in. Automatic and Skadoodle both exceptionally low. And down goes Skadoodle to leave Shroud, and Automatic will remain. Shroud has came back with the kill of his own. 35 seconds left. Bomb starting to get its way onto the site, but it gets taken down by the hands of Nico. And now 10 health is all that separates Heroic in a 7-8 half-time score. And there we have it. 7-8 will be the score. I think Heroic will be happy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 7 rounds on CT side, keeping it as close as it is now, especially considering how dominant Cloud9 was at the beginning. The fact that they were able to make such a monumental spin around here. We just look at it. Very, very streaky match here. What was it? The first 5 rounds go by the way of Cloud9. We're trade for a little bit there, but then it's Heroic that come back with, I think, 5 of their own. And then we go back and forth a little bit there towards the very end. Cloud9 still holds control of the scoreline, but it could go either way at the beginning of the second half. And again, folks, there will be no delay in getting to that second half. We'll jump right into it here now.
Yeah, 8-7. Second pistol will be a great bonus for either team to pick up. Full decoys for Heroic, interesting enough. And Molly in a smoke alongside it. Going to be trying to fake potential drop play. It's not necessarily the decoys rattling off that will be worrying Cloud9. It's the sort of double bluff that maybe they push behind it to try and catch them unawares. Instead, it is going to be the A hit, and the 2 players playing deep at the back of the site and actually on balcony and the doors is going to allow Heroic to at least get up close and personal with the blocks and able to rip through some of those heads. Now it's on Snappy, 1 on 3. The bomb's dropped ahead of him, and he's going to try to take down the player on balcony. No dice today, though. Cloud9 take the second pistol, so both pistols have gone the way of the NA team.
And for Cloud9, they're going to be able to continue to push the border here in terms of the score. And they deny the plan from Heroic too, and relatively, they don't actually lose a lot of players. So that means when Heroic goes to this force-up, obviously, it's just going to be your basics, Tech 9 armor pickups. Really nothing else behind that, though. Most are just sitting on the 1500. Madi gets himself a smoke and a flashbang, but that is going to be it. So very, very light bot here. Yugi, obviously, since it's the Opera, not picking up anything at all. And that's unfortunate. Already seeing Snappy getting tagged, I think, through the mid-connector as well. So he'll be at 12 HP, courtesy of Skadoodle.
scouting has a Skadoodle as well. It's just pretty... It's not necessarily out there, but it's not a weapon you see a whole bunch on Cobblestone being picked up in these kind of rounds. Just to show his propensity towards those ranged scoped weapons. He's going to be running with it on A alongside Automatic's M4. You have that lone rifle here, laid in wait, ready to strike. He's up on the boost looking towards main, whereas Skadoodle has his eyes on long. So it's a decent crossfire being selected, and even if Skadoodle does miss, that allows Automatic to then turn around and start to spray down with the A4 and all the 30 bullets that he has.
Rover keeping themselves very, very quiet, though. Again, 50 seconds on the clock, and they haven't done anything yet besides moving in towards long A for control here, which has kind of been gifted to them, too. They didn't even really have to fight for it. So finally going to be going for the full 5-man group up and ready to make the push out onto the site. Automatic, along with Skadoodle, are here to resist it. Skadoodle gets hit by a flashbang, though, actually, so he's not there, and he tags it, but Automatic on the boost up. He does kill the player from downstairs, so he's safe now to hug this wall. Automatic and Skadoodle, they're both here, but it's Automatic doing all of the work right now. Up to 3 kills. Now the rotations get here. Finally, we see Skadoodle rolling in with a kill of his own against Snappy, but Shroud also picked up one as he rotated in very quickly.
Clean take. No players lost in the process. Great news for Cloud9, not so good for Heroic. Because again, this is going to eat into their nade totals when they do finally go for that AK purchase into the next round. P250 in the hands of Valda, and that is it. So again, this is bare bones by Heroic. When those rifle rounds come to fruition, you're expecting to see them perform really well. Automatic with 3 kills, Skadoodle's going to get 1. It's an eco bash, a full house of kills in the end. Skadoodle gets 2. And for the second consecutive time, it is flawless. No kills in the previous 2 rounds.
But now it goes into the investment for Heroic here as they buy up. Valda, interestingly, again, going with the UMP here to add a little bit of utility, as when you look at the rest of the team, they actually don't have a whole lot. Yugi, because he played these last 2 rounds super conservatively, can get the op and armor buy, but he can't get any utility. And then Snappy, Madi, and Nico only get smokes and flashbangs. They need a little bit extra added into that, so Valdi's gone down to the UMP to add his own bit of support.
He does at least have some Kevlar behind that AWP, but as you say, spare apart from that. And Heroic going to be setting up pretty passively for the time being. When he's watching the back for a potential rotation, Automatic is in a fairly advanced place on long, but won't be using that to wrap himself around the back for now. And if he does, it would be into the embracing arms of Modi. So both teams playing fairly disciplined. Of course, the onus is on Heroic as the time starts to tick and didn't dwindle towards the dying embers of this round. They're going to have to start to get a move on. No great rush for Cloud9 to do anything here. Shui's going to be hiding in alcove alongside the other SMG wielding nothing. He's now going to throw in that Molotov. And it's also going to put Snappy out into the open. He's taking quite a bit of damage, actually. Half of his health disintegrates to the Molotov. So that's a decent bit of utility tossed out.
45 seconds remaining. And again, we haven't actually seen Heroic try to move in. Same as the last round, or the 2 rounds ago, excuse me. We haven't actually seen Heroic try to push for any sort of control at all here. They will go for it, primarily out of drop, as we can see. Even Yugi with the op moving into drop currently. So everybody pushing out from here, trying to get the control. And they're going to be swinging out window first. Waiting around the corner here, you've got Shroud. And it's going to be Automatic that picks off 1 from A long. They're trying to split this over into A. And it is working to a certain degree, but they're not going to be able to get a man advantage. It ends up 3 versus 3. And now Cloud9, instead of going through the connector, are wrapping fast on the flank here. But Madi awaits for them inside of the suicide steps. He's caught nothing. His attention draws itself much further onto the site. But in the meantime, Automatic already has control of the alleyway, but I think he overpeaks that a little bit. Thankfully, Stewie comes in to bail him up, but Automatic, through the paneling, finds Yugi and takes him down. So now it's up to Valde, but he has a great angle to dispatch of both of these players immediately when they do peek. There's one, tries to go for the second, but no! He switched out his weapon, it seemed like, for a second there. So Stewie is going to close out and put Cloud9 up to 12.
Man, as good as Heroic are on this map, they have met an informed Cloud9. A Cloud9 that is certainly firing on all cylinders. Automatic, 23 kills so far. Skadoodle's just behind him. These two are carrying the rest of their team. They've got 40 between the two of them. And we're only in round 20. It's pretty nuts. Heroic will be able to get another bite, courtesy of a bomb plant. But the worrying trend for them will be that they haven't picked up a single T round, and we're into round 5 of this half already. And they're 5 rounds behind. Molly, not quite detonating where Cloud9 were hoping for. I think it may have gone too high. and so it won't be fending off drop zone for the time being.
Yeah, Stewie just deploys an early Molotov over there, and a smoke, and an HE grenade over towards the entrance of the B halls. So very aggressive control actually being taken by Cloud9 to just deny Heroic any sort of map control whatsoever. Again, they went for this default opener, but I mean, obviously with the smokes on it, they are going to have to delay a little bit because of that. Still very early days though, as the smoke has started to fade, but I think another one's going to drop right back in there. So Cloud9 certainly toying with the emotions of Heroic a little bit just by denying them everything, even the slightest amount of control to get out towards Broken, and making them think that someone is going to try to push them aggressively or something like that, when in fact they're not doing that at all. They're just prepping up for the same type of setup that they've had actually a couple rounds back too, when we saw Heroic try to go for just a direct B play before.
Cloud9 putting a lot of their eggs in this B basket for the time being. They've got 3 players on the site, 1 in mid, which leaves Automatic by himself. The way he's been playing, fair enough, he basically is a one-man army at this stage. Molly out, bouncing off the pillar towards the window. Skedoodle may very well throw a flash up there as well. He's not entirely sure as to whether someone's pushing through connector. Snappy comes in for the first kill. Shrewy's going to turn his back as the communication when they came in that his teammates are going to be going for that one. Shroud with 2 kills and Shrew with the other 2. They don't check the alcove. They're running out of time. They're running out of lives. And Nico has been put out of his misery. 6 rounds ahead now. Cloud9 will be.
And it's 5 straight in this half so far, yet to have lost a round on their CT side. Heroic, I believe, calling a tactical pause here, correct?
Yes.
So taking a moment to themselves to figure out what they can do, as they really only have, 1 or 2 chances left before it's ultimately just going to lead into Cloud9. If they get up to 15, they're pretty much secure, as that would have to be 8 rounds flawless straight for Heroic. Quick pause, though, as we go almost immediately back into it. And interestingly enough, Heroic are forcing into this one. 4 umps and a single AK on Valde.
Yeah, I think they're realizing that they're running out of time, and they want to try and cut Cloud9 down to size. So maybe a case of, we've got full round loss bonus coming up, we can maybe rummage together another buy in the next round, depending on how this goes. With the MPs, they get a fair amount of investment back if they do land any frags here. And almost desperation is creeping in. Shroud, I think that was through thick smoke, gets Modi. And with a Molotov, not quite spreading to Valda, actually. I thought it was, but I think he's on the wrong side of the wall as far as that Modi's concerned. He's not forced out of position, but the smokes and the early kill certainly put a huge wrench in the works as far as Heroic's aggression coming down.
Yeah, again, they just back right up into the halls, same as the last round here, due to the early aggression pushed up by Cloud9. That's a huge gain by Shroud, as Heroic seem to be giving so much respect to that now. It's caused them to completely freeze back up. And while we are going to see a reapplication of pressure from the T's now, it's very predictable. It's going directly in towards drop, and 3 are actually going to follow suit. Now the question here is, do they try to swing this out and go towards A with it? Since they have everybody here, are they still going to try to execute towards B? Waiting down below is going to be Automatic, and Automatic chains 2 together. He doesn't expect the third, though. It's normally just 2 that push in here, so he's caught off a little bit by that one. That's where we finally see the trade from Valde, but now the entire team is down at 2. Now 1 players, as Nothing picks up both of those last frags. Beautifully done by him. Cloud9 continue to show their flawless CT side, just 2 rounds away from a map victory.
Brutalizing Heroic as well. I mean, Heroic have a solid T-half, but they have been comprehensively dealt with. Just shut out entirely. Partly due to the fact that Automatic is having a phenomenal game here on the CT half, as he did on the T half as well. Dual AWPs have been established, with Shui picking up the second one. And this is the reason for the force in the previous round. Heroic could rummage together another buy. Of course, if they've got a bomb plant, if they've got a couple more kills here and there, there have been a few more AKs as opposed to UMPs. But there are still 2 assault rifles now for the Danes to try and use. The issue really is the 7-round deficit they find themselves in. They're going to have to put on one hell of a show to come back from this deficit, especially the way that Cloud9 have been playing this map so far.
Yeah, Skedoodle's sitting back here now, and he may have himself quite a bit of a buffet of frags here if he's able to dodge. I think they're going to open this up with a flashbang, so he does get hit by that one, and he'll have to fall back pretty quickly. No support available, unfortunately, in the suicide steps. It's just him here right now. Automatic's there, but he's a little bit disconnected from the action, so won't be seeing him help out just yet, although I think they're going to boost him up. Yeah, they'll just jump Automatic up onto the wall there. And elsewhere on the map, Stewie, towards the broken wall, did take down Valley in his attempt to push back in. Skedoodle has spotted the pressure working its way out from A-Long, and Nothing is also here now on the site to assist. Just nothing being gained at all from Heroic. The entire hit gets 100% destroyed, and now Cloud9 up to map point.
somewhat speechless here, Blue. Cloud9 have by far looked like the best team that we've casted so far in Group B. And even yesterday, they looked better than the bulk of the teams we casted yesterday too. These guys have really impressed so far. Can they keep it going through when they're facing off against the likes of the VoDs Pros and Na'Vis? Only time will tell. But they're very close to getting a 2-0 in this group as the fast play comes in.
They're moving in pretty quickly here, but it's still being held off by Cloud9. Nico's going to look to change that, though, as he does swing out towards drop. However, Cloud9 falling back a little bit. They take down Snappy. They swing away, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 16-7 with a 100% flawless CT side. Cloud9 take control of their second match. They go 2-0 in the group. Currently, the same exact record that Na'Vi has as well, which I don't think anyone would have predicted that coming into today. So there you have it. Cloud9 pushing forward. Their next real big test is ahead of them in the next match, though, and it's going to be VoDs Pro, who comes off as the victor from the last big tournament here in the CS community, being the champions of DreamHack Vegas just about a week ago.
Yeah, VP are currently playing against North, and I think there were some delays, so it's not too far through the game. I think it's a like 10th round, somewhere around that margin. So, I mean, right now, Cloud9, as you said, joint top with Na'Vi. VP have already lost the game. SK have lost 2. Cloud9 have got a real shot of qualifying now.
Absolutely. And we're going to find out about that, guys, here just a little bit. As Meta said, we do have the other team playing in a server in the other match right now, so it is going to be a little bit delayed while we wait for them to finish up. But coming up in just a few minutes is going to be that next match, Cloud9 versus VoDs Pro. Stick around for it right here at the group stages for IEM Katowice.
Do you want to